Hello, this is Julie and Julie's Knitting, and today we're making a pair of these adorable slippers for Christmas. The great thing about this project is that you get to use up all the yarn stash that you have. Depending on how many relatives you have and how many pairs of slippers you need, you might actually use up all the stash. Now, you can divide them by color, you can divide them by thickness, you can do whatever you want, but in general you want 5, 6, sometimes 4, depending on the thickness of yarn, strands that make quite a thick yarn together. These are the colors I chose. So I am making a magic ring. That means that the end of the yarn is facing outwards and the other end is crossing it over. I'm using an 8mm crochet hook. It's not rocket science, so you don't have to have an exactly 8mm crochet hook, but something big will do, 7, 10, whatever one you have. I'm pulling through this magic ring, I'm chaining 1, and then what I like to do is I make the first double crochet from this loop. I pull it a little bit so it's a little bit higher than the chain. I twist it like this. And then I do the usual thing. I pull up a loop, I pull through this loop, and then instead of the yarn over, I pull behind my loop and turn it back. And then I pull through both loops on my crochet hook. That gives us a little bit thicker double crochet than usual, but otherwise it's quite the same. Let's see it again. This is your yarn, you cross it, you go into the circle, you pull the yarn here. Well, if you're making this, I assume you already know how to crochet. You pull a little bit longer than you usually do. You twist it around itself. You then do the usual thing. You pull up a loop, you go through this loop and behind this long loop you made. You twist it the other way around, you twist it back, and you go through both loops on your crochet hook. And then you do the usual thing. Yarn over, pull through, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, a usual double crochet. And the first row is 10 double crochets. I like quite wide slippers, that's why I'm making 10 double crochets for quite a small foot, for a petite lady. I assume these will fit almost everyone, maybe not just not extra wide feet, but all the usual feet, no matter the size, I guess they will fit. But if you want, you can make 11 or 12 double crochets in the beginning, and then your slippers will be wider. Ten stitches, it's the first row. Now I pull this end of the yarn so that it's tight and nice and tight. And now what I do is I don't slip into this stitch. I take this loop from my crochet hook, I'm holding it so that it doesn't go anywhere, and now I'm inserting my hook into the first stitch where I would slip it, and I'm pulling this loop through this first stitch. That's my preference. You don't have to do that, you can do the usual thing, but I like it because this way we don't have any spaces here, and that's nice for a slipper. Now I always weave as I go. I place my ends here, I chain 1, and I do the same thing. I pull the loop a little bit longer, I twist it, I go into the same stitch, I pull up a loop, I go through this loop and behind the loop, and from now on it's the usual double crochets. I pull through 2 loops on my crochet hook. The second row is 2 double crochets into every stitch, so that in the end we'll have 20 stitches. And 20 stitches is the circumference of our slipper. So half is 10, but there are kind of maybe 1.5 double crochets for the width, for the height of the slipper, but more or less it's 10 and 10. Row 2 is done. I love to recount my stitches almost in every row. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Everything is okay, we're just checking. And now I am joining the first row as I did the second row as I did the first. But you can do it the easier way if it's easier for you, and just join it as usual. I'm doing this because this way you don't get extra space you don't need. Here it is. From now on we do all the rows the same. We double crochet 20 in every in all the next rows. So I will need 4 more rows, and they all will be 1 stitch, 1 double crochet. This is the same size slippers. I make 6 rows in total, so I will need 4 more rows. Double crochet into each stitch. That's it. Now I have 6 rows in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for my small size it's enough. If you're crocheting a slipper for a bigger foot, you just continue and make 1 or 2 more rows, maybe 3, depending on the size. And after you've finished the toe of the slipper, you join the row as usual, and you continue crocheting as usual. But we are starting the heel of the slipper, and that means that we don't crochet all 20 stitches. We crochet a half, but I also add 2 more stitches in the beginning so that they do this thing here. They are a little bit rounded. So I will make 12 double crochets. And then I turn. We are starting to work not in the round, but in the to work back and forth. I crochet the first one as I usually do. You can make 3, you can chain 3 if you do that. And then I crochet 2 double crochets together. That means I don't pull through the last 2 stitches, and so that the double crochet is not fully done yet, but I already start the second one. Yarn over, pull through 2, and this way I have 3 stitches on my crochet hook, and I pull through all 3 stitches. This is a decrease. Then I double crochet 1 double crochet into each stitch. So I crocheted until I have 3 stitches left. Don't forget this last one, tricky one. 1, 2, 3. I yarn over, I pull up a loop, I pull through 2, yarn over again, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and now I'm pulling through all 3. This is my decrease, so we have 2 mirror reflected decreases on the right and on the left, and I'm making this last double crochet. And we turn our work again. Now you can choose again. You can make the whole slipper go just straight on. I prefer to make another decrease because, I don't know, because it's a small foot, it will be a little bit narrower, closer to the heel. So I will do the same thing. I will double crochet 1 and then I will double crochet 2 together. And I'll do the same on the other end of the row. The last one is just a double crochet into the last stitch. Now again, if you need a longer slipper, you just go on. I'm already finishing, so I'm doing this to make it rounder. I single crochet into the first stitch. I half double crochet into the next. I double crochet 2 together. And this all takes me 4 stitches. So I count 4 stitches starting from the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I realize that's all the stitches I have. So I repeat them in the opposite order. I double crochet 2 together. I half double crochet into the second to last stitch and I single crochet into the last. That's a tricky one, especially if you make it my way. It's a tricky one to find it. Okay, the slipper is done. Now if you like this color, if you want the border to be the same color and you have enough yarn, you go ahead and single crochet around all the stitches. I will change some things. I will use different yarn for that. So I will talk about single crochets all over the edge a little bit later. The only thing you should do differently with the second slipper is you should start with the wrong side row first, because this seam, the seam is right here on the first slipper. It's on the right of the slipper. And I would say that this means that this is the left slipper, because it leans, you can barely see it, it leans a little bit to the right. So this would be my left slipper and this one would be my right. And so I'm placing the seam on the other side. It will be on the left here. If you don't care about that, you can obviously make them the same way. In my experience, I can feel it a little bit on my feet and I can see it a little bit. So I prefer making them, reflecting them. Now, if you're happy with your colors, with the yarn, you have enough yarn to continue and do this row of single crochets around the slipper, then go ahead and do that. I'm going to replace a couple of colors here and make it more of a yellowy neon green border. You can make it, you know, here I would make it black, for example, or blue, so that it's contrast. Or the other way around, you can use the same yarn. It will not differ from the rest of the slipper. I replaced 2 colors that I used before, and again I'm weaving them in while I'm crocheting. And the thing is to single crochet all around the kind of the entrance to the slipper. And you want to remember that the right side is here, so that your single crochets will be facing the right side. In this case, I'm just going on, but in this case, I will have to go the other way around. So I was going here, and I'm going to turn and go the other way around. So I'm just finding a nice place to insert my hook and single crochet into those places, like here, for example. It's approximately 2 single crochets into 1 double crochet, into the height of 1 double crochet, but it doesn't have to be that specific. You can sometimes make 1 and sometimes make 3. You just see what it looks like, and you just see that it's going well, right? And here I'm going to insert my hook like an extra time here where the slipper is turning, right into the corner there. And then here I'm just single crocheting into every stitch. The 2 easiest parts are this one and this one, because they have just stitches where you insert your hook as usual. Just single crochet all around the edge of the slipper. When I'm done, I'm breaking the yarn and hiding the ends. It will be easier to do with a smaller size crochet hook, but if you don't have one, obviously you can just struggle a little bit and still do it with the same size crochet hook. If you have a needle, you can use that too. I usually hide like 1 or 2 strands of yarn at a time, and this way I can hide 2 of them this way and 2 of the others another way, so it makes it, I think that it's more secure. I don't know that if it makes a lot of difference, but it sounds like it's, I don't know, but it sounds like it's a little bit more secure. But you know, because you step on them all the time, because you felt them a little bit all the time, I think any way of hiding the ends will be successful, because wearing the slippers will do all the work for you, you know. So I don't think you have to worry about that. Again, the only thing to remember with the second slipper is to face it the right way. So this is the right side, and that's why I'm going into the opposite direction with this one. And again, single crochet into every stitch, single crochet 2 along the double crochets. That's it, my friends. We made ourselves a pair of adorable slippers that are warm, that are cozy, and that are very fast to make. In my experience, my slippers, I wear them all the time. I start wearing them in October, November, and I wear them until maybe May, April, May, depending on the weather. And I wear them non-stop. I'm at home a lot. I wear them a lot. And they wear out in one season, maybe, well, it depends on the number of strains of yarns, probably. 3 strains last one season for sure. Maybe 5 or 6 strands will last a little longer, maybe 2 seasons, 1.5. But you know, it is very fast, it is very easy, it uses up all the stash you have. That's what I love about them. You can make them over and over again. I'm not sad when they kind of finish, when they wear out. It's just an excuse to make a new pair in different colors. I hope you had a lot of fun making these. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments. Please tag me if you post your pair of slippers here. I want to see all of them. This was Julia and Julia's Knitting. Thank you for being with me today. Bye!